All right, hello everyone. So let's take a look at the market today and let's see what's going on. So, all right, we've got about an hour and a half for London to open. We've got news coming out. I've been mentioning it since Monday. You've got to keep an eye out for this on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. Now today we've got pre-news set up. Now this is the impulse wave. As you can see, the market's kind of trotting up like this. So the two things that can happen, we're going to come here and just flop down, okay? Or what might happen is, let me see. Yeah, that might be the case. Or what might happen is, might be around here, and then we could break up. Okay, if we do, we've got room on the daily PST to 2,372. If the market dips down for a buy, that's 38, which is 2,282, which is down here. So this 2,282 is also a location where we need to keep an eye out for, because this is the daily support, that's the daily resistance. So if we're going up, we're going to target that, manage the trade in these levels here. One is this bar and the other one is going to be this zone here. So we've got room to manage the trade, 1, 2, and then target 3. On the weekly for gold, as you can see, this could be a nice bounce going all the way up. With the news, it can also be a flop, but as you can see on the weekly, this is like a runner. Okay, so that's the impulse wave, market down, so going back up is also an option. Sooner or later this should crash down into this zone. So you know, it's either going to do it from here, or we're going to go up and then crash down, or come to the middle of the channel and then crash down. But somehow, somewhere along the line, that will happen. Okay. So for today, though, let's go into our 15-minute chart. 9:45. That's the first thing. I put the Astro hours ages ago, like a few hours ago, as you can see. So this 9:45 here should be kind of like the first spot of the day. Now think about it, we've got higher lows happening. Okay, higher lows happening, and here higher lows are happening. So we might have a bit of a retracement, which might bring us into lunchtime. If at lunchtime, let's say 12 o'clock, 12:15, or at 2 p.m., like 1:45 to 1:50, let's say 1:50, you know, if we're at a good spot, we might have the market, you know, move nicely from those levels. And the 3:25 is a pre-news setup, and 4:50 should be the news, kind of like once the news is done, that's either going to be a retracement, or that's going to be like a place where the market should kind of, you know, go towards. Okay, now and then we've got the Fed talk, okay, which is at 9:30. So 9 o'clock we've got the Fed interest rate. I've got no idea what's going to happen there, because I've got no Astro hours there at all. So this 9 o'clock is all blurry. All right, so we'll have to check alternative methods with that. And what you can do is you can definitely wait until 9:30, because by 9:30 the price will be at a place where it'll want to change. All right, so that's that level there. All right, so yeah, so that's basically it. Let's go for the euro dollar. Now with the euro dollar, remember I said Monday and Wednesday is a swing day, and Monday I had bought a position, and yesterday that got stopped out with a profit. Okay, today is also a swing day, so Wednesday. Now we were either going to go from Monday to Wednesday up, or the market was going to keep pushing down, and that's the trend line from yesterday, and that's how it is now. This is where we're at now. So until we get to the news, and these are the Astro hours of yesterday, you see how the market fell from the high at the Astro hours, and then kind of like went up into the up from the Astro hours into that zone. So what we need to do today is to just ensure that our timing is once again correct. Okay, so this is 9:45, and then so let's say 10 o'clock there my time. What you can do for this is you're going to have to wait maybe towards, yeah, that 12:15 is okay. 12 to 12:15. Let's take this one there. All right, so we can probably come back into this zone. After this 12:15, we could have a breakout or a pushy move, a push going into 2 o'clock, okay, which is 1:45. Let's keep that there, 1:45 to 2 o'clock. So that's also an option. And then, like I said, 3:30 is going to be your setup for the news. 3:30 looks like a good spot to kind of like enter the market, which should then take us to 4:50. Okay, and then if that continues on, 9:30 is where we're gonna do something, but in between there you got to be careful. Okay, so this is how it is. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at the daily here. Like I said, we've got room to kind of like go up. Market came down. Now going up to retest those levels is okay. You can also put a good buy kiss here. So we might kind of see the market coming back up into there or there. Why? Because that's kind of like your good buy kiss zone there. Alright, there. So the market has got potential to come up into that 1.08 zone. Alright, so I want to close the gap, maybe even a little higher too. So we're going to be in this zone here. So the lows towards there is an option. Also, we've got the HCL1 line, 1.0799, which is okay. 45 here is also 1.0794. So between 1.0790 and 1.08 is looking like a target if the market goes up, which we can target then. Let's take a look at the SP 500. Now with the SP 500, remember, we're in a bullish mode. Once the PST is broken out here, then the market's been pushing upwards. Okay, yesterday, well, that was yesterday. This was the day before. So market going up, coming back, sweeping the stops. That's the retracement Astro hour, going back up, and so on. So we've got room to pull back into the daily pivot and slightly lower as well into that bar today. That could possibly happen. Okay, if that's the case, include into that the daily as well. The reason is this is the bar that caused the breakout. So coming back here or slightly lower is okay at the Astro hours. If the news is good, obviously, and it's an election year, so they want to make it good, the market can keep pushing upwards, and that's fine because we've got the daily breakout here as well. Okay, as you can see. So yeah, the daily breakout is okay. And yesterday you can see the PST picked up right from the PST, and this is why we had, didn't we have that target? I thought we had a target like that. Let me just check. Yeah, the daily, it should have been, okay, that should have been on our radar yesterday. In any case, on the weekly, as you can see, it didn't come down to that 66 level, 5267, which is fine. Okay, it was a bit low anyway, but still, as the market comes back down, as it's doing its regular moves, it's got like room to push up and go further up. So if we are down here somewhere with the news, we could still be pushing up. So be mindful about that. Now, same thing with Dow Jones. If you're trading Dow Jones and if you got the 8 a.m., then you got your news there, you got your levels there, and even if we have news, we kind of like come to the, as you can see, these values here, right? There you go. So the market comes down to 38,428 and then buys. Now we've got resistance at 51, 38,911, 38,911. So this should break. All right, so we should break that one, but we'll see how things pan out. Once again, with the Astro hours, if we're down somewhere, you can look for a U-turn to go up. Obviously, this doesn't mean it's gonna, break up as well. Remember, this was a sell zone. That's the market sold off from. So we could still go there, tap that, and pull back. And there's a gap here as well. The market can also want to take care of that gap as well into that zone. Right, so we've got to keep those things in mind when we're trading. Also with this one, remember we had that, got this double top with is it a divergence? No, there is no divergence. We got the double top, so it's like kind of bullish, okay, in any case, but this is also like a runner, okay, so this could turn into a runner. As long as it doesn't break the neckline here, we're still going to feel like we're bullish as the market comes down. Now on the weekly, this 46th level was on the cards, 38,270, 38,270 is there. So that's still on the cards on the weekly. If it comes down into here suddenly and leaves a big gap, suddenly comes down here, then this might be a good place where the market can go long, okay. And on the daily, we don't have a 38.70 because it's far out, but this could also be a good breakout opportunity. Okay, why? Because this setup is a correct setup for a breakout. So that's on the cards as well. And if it breaks out, like I said, it's got to go above that 38,911. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. With NASDAQ as well, as you know, we had the PST breakout on the weekly, so going long on this was an option. Yesterday we had these price levels. The market comes back to 7:30 time. Let's just double check on that. That's 4:45, and that's yesterday. I don't think I had a 4:45 yesterday. No, I didn't. I had a 4:20, which might be a breakout, I said, and that's your 4:45 just after it. 4:20 is on that bar. Market does a sudden move, and then it does 10 past 6 to 6:30. So 6:30, that is, let's get rid of that. That's your 7:30 there. So 6:30 is there, and then we've got 7 o'clock, 6:30, 6:45, 7 o'clock there. All right, so the market retraces and then goes back up right into 10:16, 10:20. 10:20 to 11:30, that's 11:30 there. Well, that's closing pretty much. Okay, so now we could do the same kind of setup, but we need the market to pull back once again, probably into the daily. This is also, like, if you take a look at it, let's tighten this up a little bit. Okay, we've got a sideways market and a breakout. So the market wanted to retest where it broke out, which is going to be the daily pivot to this level here. So if you draw your line top to top, okay, this is the zone. So the market will want to retest somewhere between the daily and here, kind of fill in the gaps. If it's an Astro hour, going up from here is also logical. And if you want to look for the manipulation, well, that's that bar pretty much, okay, which caused the breakout. So this zone is looking okay, and that's there. So we should dip down into this zone, and then in the news time, if it goes up, it's going to go up from that low kind of zone. Okay, like I said, also be mindful for the Fed statements. Okay, that's also going to be important. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Okay. Let's take a look. Now with Bitcoin, remember, we said these zones are not good to buy. Okay, so you can only buy on the pullback, and this was a zone I talked about yesterday. Okay, so this is where the support is. Market, as you can see, did that and closed above that line, so it took the stops out basically. All right, so this is probably where everybody's stop loss was, there and also there. This is the manipulation. So the market wanted to go long here on this bar, so it took everybody's stop loss and up. Now this doesn't mean it's going to go up from here. On the weekly, you can see we've got that breakout. We can still head a little lower into that 60 zone. Okay, and that 60 zone is 65,641. All right, so this is still, as you can see on the cards. And on the daily, here we are on the daily, we might still have a bit of room to push down. Okay, there's room to cover here, gap there. You might want to mark this into this bar here. Okay, so we still have room in the bigger time frame. If you take a look, okay, this is the big picture on the sideways market. So if I just do this, okay, so this is the bigger picture. Let's narrow this down on the daily and just extend it. All right, so from here, from this consolidation, the two things that can happen is we're either going to just drop down, we're going to push up. So this being an election year, okay, we're probably going to see a high market, and then we'll see how things pan out afterwards, after the elections. Okay, so during the summer we might also push down a little bit, and then the market may push up in like September, coming towards the November elections in the US. Okay, so as you know, Biden is is a bit against all this crypto stuff, whereas Trump is all for this crypto stuff. So we'll see how things pan out. Okay, and this is how it is. So the market still has room to go down, as you can see, as we're in this range, and that can still happen. On the weekly, if I take a look at this, this could be like an A, B, C coming lower down. Okay, and that's also fine. That should also take us into, let's do a Fibonacci. Okay, that's the impulse. That could take us into there, fill in the gap. Okay, plus this 48,876 resistance, and that could take us into here. So this is also pretty much doable, and it does make sense. Okay, it does make sense. It can be like this as well. The other alternative is if it breaks out, then obviously we're going up if it breaks out. Now remember, we had this PST breakout that turned pear shape. Okay, that turned pear shape. Now we're in a different ball game. So it's a bit of a dilemma here, as you can see. Okay, so I'd be careful with Bitcoin. If you want to sell, again, just make sure you cover the gap. Sell from the highs of the channel. The goodbye kiss on the daily, if you're going to sell, is 51.60, which is 68,977, which is about up here. 977. Okay, there. Now also, if you think about it, we had Monday swing day for Bitcoin. See what the market did Tuesday. Nice and easy. All right, so if you were selling those levels and pushing down, good to go. Next swing day, as you know, is tomorrow. So you can prep for that one if you want. So the market may still push down until tomorrow and see how things pan out from there. Okay.